What have you been noticing?
That I don't feel my heart all the time. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on circumstances outside, how I feel from the inside.
Well, the mind will be in play.
Yes.
That's all. That's all. It's taking the center stage.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's just like a retraining. That's all. And it can be swifter than what you imagine.
Swifter?
Quicker.
Quicker.
Quicker than what you could imagine. So when you notice that the mind's starting to get busy, just rest your hands on your heart. Feel your heart. Don't have expectations that it runs in straight away to meet you. Just keep feeling. And you keep resting your attention there. It's inevitable it'll rise. It's not a maybe. It's going to rise. The only thing is that if the mind's scratching, then your attention will come off the heart back to the mind. So you allow that to be and just reset back here. And reset. And reset. And that's why it's important to put your hands on your heart to get that invoking, that feeling, so you don't have to have your hands there. You can really feel that as a direct experience, so you can use it as a resource wherever you are. You can drop back into that feeling and you're sliding your way back in. Yeah? And when you're there, take the time to soak and rest and bask in it. Yeah? Just really allow your whole energy to really be nourished. That way, consciously playing that. That way when you come, the mind starts scratching, rather than going off, you'll have more space to stay. And that's how you extend that capacity. By when you're in that spaciousness, you're consciously like laying in a warm sun. Yeah, you're resting in that spaciousness.
Well, I know that all intellectually, and I have, I have it in past, good already for a long time, good amounts of time where I feel rested. So, but obviously not all the times.
Yeah.
So what keeps me away from feeling my heart, as I do, for example, now, because this is a protected area, we are in a good energy field like that, but why am I easily don't remember that, all the time or more often or whatever?
Yeah. So feeling your way through, the feeling will help drop you in.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah? So focus on the feeling a bit more and less trying to get in there. Yeah, it's a more surrendered place.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So you're meditating?
Yes, I try to.
Yeah. So get rid of trying.
Well, what I mean is like trying all the time, like that.
Okay.
Meditate, yeah.
Okay. So as long as when you're sitting in meditation, the invitation is you're sitting with a commitment to be in the silence. So it's not talking to yourself, and you're sitting there. If you find the mind comes up, you just need to tend to your breath below the navel, and you allow yourself to breathe in and out through the belly. That'll help pull the energy of the mind down, and it has a natural space of opening the heart. So you're sitting, tending to the breath, and you're focusing. Now that focus will need to be a sliding scale. If you let it go too soon, the mind will come up. So then it's a signpost just to tend to the breath a little bit more. and you're just focusing. Nothing else exists other than your intimate connection with the breath. Yeah? Keep it really simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you're walking around everyday life, do you have the commentator?
Yeah, of course. I think, yeah. I mean, sometimes more strong, sometimes more drops away.
Yeah. So you can easily stop the commentator, because the commentator is nice socks, nice coloured jacket, yellow lat, you're going around. So if you drop that out, like you just...
But again, it seems to involve a kind of effort to do that. Or like remembering at least.
Yeah, so let go of the effort, and you can write down on your fridge, I'm going to be aware of the commentator, and I'm going to consciously choose not to comment.
Yes.
Yeah? And then on your car keys or on your bike or, next to your computer, a little pink dot. And every time you see that pink dot, that's going to remind you, belly breathe, no talking to yourself internally. It's just a little reminders. Yeah? And so you don't have to have the words. It's just this tiny little dot, yeah, that will invoke you. And meditation is really good, obviously. Morning and night, and if anywhere else in between is great.
Walking.
And watch the mind puts things in a box that puts it in concrete. Watch that monkey, because,
What do you mean, putting it in concrete?
Well, fixing it that this is how it is. Watch that. Let that go. Because you can be in that moment done, and then it's done, and that from that moment on it's done. So the invitation is to allow yourself, that intelligence within you, to keep opening, but the monkey mind will say, oh, you can't do that, or it takes a long time, or that's just how the pattern of my mind works. Yeah? It's a great way of reinforcing itself. So the invitation is just to play with letting go of those stories and play absolutely fresh. Yeah, even like you go, right, for a week, I'm going to play really simple, and any time those stories come up, I'm going to allow them, but I'm not going to listen or follow. And when they're here, I'm just going to belly breathe. I'm going to feel my heart. And even if I'm going to put my hands there, or just my attention here, and that's it. Play it really simple.
Well, that's easier said than done.
Well, see, that's exactly the thought that I'm asking you not to follow.
Experience.
Yeah, that's right. So leave that experience alone. Let it stay in the past, because there's some of the stories that keep coming from the past, polluting the now moment and setting it into the future.
Yes, certainly, I agree.
Yeah. So
still it is.
It's a real. I get that it's a real that has been your experience, and you can sort of harmonize it out up till now. That has been your experience. So those couple of words, up till now. So it's been my experience that the mind comes in, and it's been challenging for it to fall away up till now. Yeah, it's like you keep stamping, your space.
Keep stepping my space?
Stamping. It's like, right. Creating that space. It's like you recognize. Do you know the practice of Brahmari, quietening a busy mind?
No.
It's a lovely, simple practice that you do. You can do it before your meditation of a morning and before you go to bed in the evening. You're having your teeth just lightly touching. You close the external ear flaps. You're taking a good solid breath, but not a forced breath, and you're using the sound like that, and you're focusing right in the middle of the brain. The translation is called quietening a busy mind. There was a Dr. Moriyama in Japan, did a lot of research about 25 years or more ago. It just works. It's very good for dropping the brainwave functioning down. So, I invite you to do that. You've got to do it sitting, good posture. You don't do it with the middle ear infection. Okay? So and you do 3 or 5 or 7. And like if your mind's really busy, you sort of don't go, it's a, it's a sound. And the important thing is remember focusing right in the middle. Beautiful exercise, very simple. If you forget the steps, email us and one of us will send it to you. But it's a very simple practice. It'll support you.
So it's a form of a practice then.
It just like it clears the slate of, the mind firing up. And you'll find that you'll have more space in your meditation and you'll sleep a lot easier. Yeah, you'll wake up more refreshed. To recognize for you what is always here, that is constant, and to allow your attention to be on that constant.
That's what I'm aspiring to.
So what happens have you let go of searching?
No, probably not. But it comes more from the within, I think, than rather from the mind. But still there's a sense of searching,
Yeah, and that's just an innate functioning to make sure you come home to yourself fully, that yearning. So allow that searching to be turned inward.
So again, how?
Just feel it.
Yeah,
just feel it. Put your hands on your heart. It's a fair question, how? And it's like your breath is going in and out through your hands into your sacred heart. Each breath there's a softening. Each breath allow the system to surrender. No effort. An effort will rise up, you catch it, and in the same breath surrender. It's through softness that your heart will rise. Not pushing, not trying. And softening and softening. Any points of tension in the body, anywhere, and soften. So as you go through the layers, don't be concerned what shows itself, like a hesitation or a feeling of even a block or something. It's just that your system's showing it, but you don't have to stay on it. Just keep softening. Don't follow them, yeah? And then the whole system will just keep dropping. Yeah, there's a few little things that are scratching along the way. Don't take any notice. Just regularly just do what we just played with. And it's just allowing a little bit more space through the whole energy field. Yeah, that's all. And it's focus and make sure there's no effort. Effort will rise, and the moment you catch it, just let it go into a softening. It's just part of the conditioning play, that's all. Good. What are you noticing right now?
More of a spaciousness.
Yeah. So in that conceptual spaciousness, now it's starting to come into the body as a feeling. Now just with your breath, allow that spaciousness to come out through the extremities, through the feet and the toes and the hands. So, and even breathing through the soles of your feet's good for you. Just little times throughout the day, because you've got a lot of the conceptual understanding and your system's waiting for it to embody. And it's softer than anything. Just keep being in that soft play. And just remember, it's just supporting the pathway. And in a very short time, you'll notice just a difference of how you're being in the world.
But again,
You're going to leave the past thought. Yeah, good. Yeah, so be willing. Are you willing?
I am.
So then you have to put the line on the sand and that mind, because it'll want to refer back. Yeah.
No, maybe it's a kind of referring. I never looked at it this way, but. So I do already try to be more in the body and to feel spaciousness within the body. So on that it's also not new to me.
Yes.
But still here I'm at today, and I don't feel easily that way. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. So when you don't feel easily that way, checking that you're really allowing it. Because whatever experience comes up, before it's able to be fully transcended, there has to be an allowing it to be here, which is the fullness of the experience of whatever it is. And then you can let it land in the heart and it'll transcend. So whatever the experience, make sure that you're just checking that you're really allowing it here. It's not following or adding stories. It's just welcomed, allowing it. And in that, then your heart can also extend out and embrace and let it land here. Otherwise, if you're not allowing, it's going to form back into your energy field, because at the end of the day, it's about you experiencing whatever it is. So by allowing, you're experiencing it, and then that's your conscious registry of it. You're aware that it's there. Your response is allowing it and then letting it land in the heart. And it'll be transcended.
So is there a way of supporting that allowing?
Good question. Yeah, how you support that is by softening. And like you feel...
But the softening is already the supporting.
Yeah, it's already there supporting, but like the mantra omming, So you can say to yourself, soften, and it's got an energy within the word, and you can feel it, that energy running all the way down your energy fields. So if you play with that, so you just use softening as a mantra for a bit to get the oceanic feeling of the word. You want to pick it up as a direct experience. So then when other things come to play and you want to soften to allow it, you just will then be able to run it through the system. Because the moment, like you'll have appeared entanglements, the moment you soften and allow, you bring in more space. And then you've got more conscious capacity to play it. Yeah, to continue. If you're here and you're not allowing it, it'll cringe. You start trying it, it'll seed back in. That's all. So it's so incredibly simple that we can imagine that it won't work.
Because it's too simple. Yeah.
Because it's so simple. But in the direct experience, you play with it, in open heart play, you will see it show up very quickly. Okay? There's a sweet practice of using your breath. And then as you're exhaling, you very softly seeing if the breath wants to go that little bit more without pushing. And then as you breathe in, to see if it wants to go a little bit more without pushing, just a tiny bit. And then you allow the oceanic breath and you continue. It's the same with softening. You're softening and the invitation is to allow it that little bit more. And as it comes back in, you're softening and you allow that softening that little bit more. So it's a softening, surrendering, and as you're breathing out, just that little bit more. And what you'll find as you're going out that little bit more, something may come onto your field of awareness, and you're letting it be here, you're allowing it, and you're letting it land here in the flame of transcendence.
What is the flame of transcendence?
It's your pure heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Because awareness is one thing, yet if you don't let it land into this flame, you'll find it'll hang around again. It'll come up again. You'll be aware of something. And unless the heart is open for a natural burning, you'll find that whatever appears, it'll rise, it'll fall, but it'll come back again. If you allow it to, if it rises and you're allowing it and you're letting it land here, you'll have a breath of God. You'll have a breath of the sacred come through. You will know through the direct experience. There's the play that she was talking about. There it is. And we're designed to consciously play. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can email me anytime. You can write private message and no one else reads it other than me. So it can be quite intimate if you wish in your play or whatever. Okay. Good. Lovely. Thank you.